Hi everyone, here's our basic math review problem. The sum of three consecutive even numbers is 90. Find the numbers. Now let's solve this problem together. The first step in solving this kind of problem is to understand the problem. So what do you mean by three consecutive even numbers? An example of that would be 2, 4, 6. They are all even numbers and at the same time, they are consecutive. That is, 4 is the next even number after 2 and 6 is the next even number after 4. Now, let's take a look also of what is not an example of consecutive even numbers. If we have 2, 6, 8, this is not an example of consecutive even numbers because the next even number after 2 should be 4. But what we have here is 6 and therefore they are not consecutive. So in this problem, what we want are three consecutive even numbers whose sum is 90. So having understood what are consecutive even numbers, we are now ready to go to step number 2, which is to make a plan. And our plan here is to use algebra in order to represent algebraically three consecutive even numbers whose sum is 90. So we do not know what is the first even number, so let's use the variable x. Now from 2 to go to 4, notice that we need to add 2. But if we start at x as our first even number, then the second even number must be x plus 2 because the distance from the first even to the next even is 2 units. So if the first even number is x, the next even number must be x plus 2. Now for the third even number after x, the distance from 2 to 6 is 4 units. So therefore, if the first even number is x, the third even number must be x plus 4. And so, we now have the first even number as x, the second is x plus 2, and the third is x plus 4, represented algebraically. So these are all algebraic representations of consecutive even numbers. And we want the sum of these three even numbers to be equal to 90. And therefore, we now have this equation to solve our problem. And this will now bring us to the next step, which is to carry out the plan. So let us now solve this equation. So we add x plus x plus x, that gives us 3x. And we add the constants 2 plus 4 to get 6, and that is equal to 90. From here, we just solve this equation. We want to find the value of x, so we will isolate 3x at the left side first by subtracting 6 from both sides to arrive at 3x equals 90 minus 6, and 90 minus 6 is 84. Then divide both sides by 3 to get x equals 84 over 3, which is equal to 28. So x is 28, and that is our first even number. The second even number is x plus 2, and therefore, if x is 28, then x plus 2 must be 30, and x plus 4 must be 28 plus 4, which is 32. So these are now our three consecutive even numbers. The last step is very important. That is, you look back and check if your answer is correct. Here is the original problem. The sum of three consecutive even numbers is 90. So we want to find what is the sum of these three numbers. And the sum is indeed 90. And we verified that they are all even numbers and they are all consecutive even numbers. And therefore, we are now confident that our answer is correct. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you again in our next video here on Basic Math Review Problems.